Hello, I'm Amy Henderson and I'm the Director of Career Services here at Shelton State. I'm sorry that I can't be with you today to explain the assignment that you will be doing during your office administration class, but did just want to tell you a little bit about my job, what the Career Services Center does, what services we offer, and the assignment that you will have in this office administration class. So congratulations to all of you for making it through to this class, first of all. So obviously you have had a great education in the classroom, but my job here at Shelton is to take that a little bit further and take that into the workforce development area, helping you get prepared for the workforce. So in your classes, you've already probably talked about interview skills, you've talked about resumes, all of those type things, but my job here is to help you go a little bit beyond that. So we're going to do that with some mock interviews. Now I have seen some of you already with Mr. Presley's class, but we're going to go a step further with the mock interview with Ms. Datcher's class, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But each day of life to you should be an interview. When you go out into this internship, not only are you representing yourself and your family, but you're representing Ms. Datcher and more importantly, Shelton State and current other students that are going to come behind you. So if you go into this situation, into the internship, and do something that's not appropriate, number one, you're jeopardizing your chance of full-time employment and a reference, but not only that, you're hurting other students. So I really encourage you to make the most of this situation to help yourself get ready for the workforce, get ready to go out, get a job, prepare yourself in that way, learn as much as you can, but also be a great example so that the person that you are interning with wants to hire and wants to have our students back in their office environment. So our office is located in the SOAR Institute. My office specifically is the first door on the left. Stop by anytime I'm in the office. I welcome students to come by and just chat. If you would like to, you can also make an appointment. I prefer that. If I'm in a meeting, that kind of thing. My promise to you is if you make an appointment with me, I will be there at the time that we've made that appointment. I won't have any other meetings or outside meetings outside the college. If you have an appointment with me, I will be there. So you can do that in two ways. You can call me, you can email me, or you can come by the front desk at SOAR and talk with Ms. Pam Sagan, and she can help you set up an appointment. So just to talk a little bit about what our office does, not only do we help with job search strategies, not are we just going to be talking about monster.com, some of those typical things. We'll do a little bit more job search strategy, such as networking. Who do you know that can help you further that strategy? So for example, I had a student that came in and she worked at a gas station in the mornings. And she said, oh, I don't know anybody who can help me get a job. But as soon as we started brainstorming who came in that store every day, we found out that she had a vast network of people from construction owners, business owners, those kind of people that can help her get her foot in the door somewhere and get a job. So it may be something like that we just need to think about your network and how we can get your foot in the door somewhere. We also work with resumes. Now I know that you have had to do resumes for classes and you say, my resume is good. I'm going to encourage you not only to have me look at your resume, Ms. Datcher, Mr. Presley, Ms. Large, whoever it is, your parents, have several people, not only one person, look at your resume. Different people are going to catch different things. Where I may miss that you have a period, I'm very big on formatting on resumes, and you want it to be as professional as possible. Something that I may miss, someone else may catch. Let as many people look at that resume, because the one thing that companies are looking at, if you have a mistake on your resume, that is one thing that differentiates you from someone else. If you have a mistake-free resume, it's going to jump you up into that top echelon of candidates for that job. So what a resume does is it not only tells who you are, but it tells what you've done and what you can do for that company. You know, companies are about making a profit. Most companies exist to make a profit, and they want to know what you can do to help them make a profit, what your skills are that will help them. And that's what we need to be showcasing on your resume. Some people may say, oh, I've only worked in restaurants. Well, guess what? In restaurants, you've done a lot of things. You probably handled money, which can tell about honesty, those type things. You've also dealt with some probably, I would say, pretty difficult customers. Those customers that builds your customer service skills. We can talk about that on your resume. There are a lot of things people may say, oh, I just babysat. There are things that you have to do. You're managing different aspects of people's lives, and we can always make that into things on a resume. Don't ever diminish what you've done. Let's go ahead and put that on your resume. Have numerous people look at it. People do look at things differently, so make sure that several people look at that resume. Also, we offer mock interviews, not only mock interviews like you will be doing for this class, but also interview stream. So I've had several students that have come in and done a mock interview with me, but want to continue practicing that on their own in the form of a video from their own home. We can offer that with interview stream. I do think that the most effective way to mock interview someone is person-to-person contact. A lot of times, students, myself included, it's a lot easier to send an email or a text than it is to actually talk to someone. I've actually had people that were great candidates, had a lot of things to say, but number one, didn't know how to say them, and then some people even broke down and started crying just because they got nervous. I would rather you do that in my office or in, with me, or, okay, so I would rather you do that with me or in a setting that is comfortable to you than do that out in the field. So do that either way is perfectly fine, but I do prefer that. One thing that you want to talk about is when you look at a job description that you are going to apply for that job, the number one thing I recommend that you do is research that company, whether that is on the internet, talking to other people, getting to know the job, research the company. That's the number one very important thing. People also look at a lot of other things like your language, how well you speak, how you're dressed, how you present yourself. A lot of people get really nervous when they're going through that process. However, we want to make it as comfortable as possible. I found that companies and people are just like you and I. They know that you are nervous going into that situation, but act like it is you are just going in and having a conversation with somebody. I'm not saying get too comfortable and relax down in the chair, that kind of thing, but be comfortable and have a conversation. The main thing about an interview is that you are wanting to sell yourself to the company. You're wanting to tell them all about who you are and what you can do. So that's definitely the main thing with that. You don't want to be too relaxed, but you do want to let them see your personality and see who you are. One of the things I want to talk about a little bit is the type of questions you'll be asked. Some companies ask questions such as, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Tell me a little bit about how we can expect you to benefit our company. What are your strengths? That kind of thing. Also, there are situational questions that are alive and well, and they are all over. So one of the things we would talk about in a situational question is, so tell me about a time when, whether it's tell me about a time when you worked with a difficult customer, tell me about a time when you felt like you went above and beyond the call of duty at work. Tell me about different times. Tell me about different situations. The one thing with an interview is I feel, all of you probably are familiar with Bear Bryant, the University of Alabama. He said that you play to the level of your practice. I believe that if you practice job interview questions and you know in advance what you want to tell the company or the interviewer, you will do far better than if you just go in and think you're going to wing it. So for example, maybe you don't have a lot of work experience, but think about times when in school you have dealt with difficult teammates when you were working on a project. Think about projects that you worked on while you're in school as a group. Talk about teamwork, those type of things. The number one thing that I think people make errors with when interviewing is they apply for the job, but they don't maybe print off or screenshot or something the job description. What employers want to know is they want to know how, number one, you are going to help them and how you're going to help them be productive. But in your interview, you need to talk about the kind of things that you have experience with or you think that are your strengths from that job description, so that when they're checking off different things, Can they, are they proficient at Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those types of things? They go ahead and check that off their list because you've mentioned that in your interview and they know that you have that strength. Not only is it on your resume, but you're talking about it. You also need to be very familiar with your resume and never lie about what you can do on your resume, because when you get into an interview situation, they may ask you questions about that resume and you want to be able to tell them straightforward examples of those bullet points from your resume. We also have a career closet. One of the things that we found is students obviously dress a little bit differently. They will have, t-shirts, blue jeans, come into class, which is perfectly fine, probably what you wear outside. I certainly do. But one of the things that we find is that oftentimes that's a barrier for students. It is expensive to buy proper interview and work attire. If you need help with that, we have a career closet. Come see me and I'm happy to help with that. Also, we will have a dining etiquette class to help get you ready to go into the workforce. A lot of students, especially not necessarily OAD students, but technical students will say, oh, I don't need that. But then they get to Mercedes and they'll have to take a 2 or 3 week class on professional etiquette, and that includes dining etiquette, so that when they go to Germany, they're not embarrassing the company here at MBUSI. So it is very important for everyone. We won't go into, the Four Forks or anything like that, but maybe even something as simple as how to eat a box lunch. One of the most important things about dining etiquette, and I'll go ahead and give my secret away here, is when you go on a business lunch, as much as you want it to be about maybe the steak that you're going to get or whatever it is not about the food. It's about the relationship and talking to the person that has invited you. So there will be lots more tips in the dining etiquette workshop, but that's the main, that is one of the main points. As I said earlier, interviews are an opportunity to sell yourself. Look at the description and tell who you are and what you can do for the company. So for this exercise in your class, you will have to call me or email me and set up an interview. So this is my phone call or email to you telling you that you have been chosen to interview for an Office Associate 2 at the University of Alabama. It's a regular full-time position. It is a office clerical support, and it is in the Office of Clothing, Textiles, and Interior Design. Now, I know some of you may not be straight office administration. You may be bookkeeping, accounting, those type things. Sometimes people take other jobs than the ones that they want right out of school just to get their foot in the door somewhere. So this exercise is more about the interview and less about what you're going into long term. But I'll just read you the job summary. Under moderate supervision, performs general office, administrative, and secretarial duties with some variety of complexity. Follows general prescribed procedures, including limited judgment. Typical duties may include receiving, screening, routing phone calls, mail and visitors, arranging itineraries and agendas, setting up, maintaining files, typing a variety of materials, preparing purchase requisitions, miscellaneous disbursement vouchers, departmental transfer authorizations, travel expense forms, compiling data and preparing reports, maintaining inventory and purchasing office supplies and materials, maintaining budget records, and acting as a daily liaison to other offices. The required minimum qualifications are a high school diploma or GED and 2 years of general office experience or an associate's degree or higher. Knowledge of personal computers and a standard software application. Good organizational communication and public relations skills. Must be a strong multitasking, quick learner, very responsible, and not easily frustrated. Must get along with all types of people and be a team player. So hopefully you got some of that, but when you call or email me to set up your mock interview for this position during the dates that Ms. Datcher gives you, you will be emailed a copy of this job description so that you can go over that and research the company. You can go over the job description. What we're going to be looking for is, what do they know about the job? How well do they interview? The purpose of this is to get you ready to go out and interview with a company. So that's the main purpose of this exercise. We want to be sure that you're ready to go. Like I said, Ms. Datcher will let you know the time frame for this assignment. You can call or email me at my office to set up that appointment Do not wait until the last minute. I am blocking time off during the time that Ms. Datcher will let me know, but if there is a meeting that comes up, if another student comes in, those type things, I may not be able to work you in. Some students wait until the last minute and we're not able to get it done in the time frame. So go ahead, I encourage you to go ahead and make your appointment. Like I said, if you have an appointment, you're already on my calendar, you're not gonna get bumped for something else. So thank you for letting me come in and share a little bit about what we do in the Career Services Center. I look forward to working with you. Any career services items that you need, I'm happy to help. Just let me know. Thanks so much, and y'all have a good day, and make sure that you enjoy your internship and learn a lot.